Hi everyone, it's Manny Rataul back with another unboxing, and today we have the brand new iPad Air M2. I also got my hands on the brand new Apple Pencil Pro, and we'll be looking at that in this video as well. Now the iPad Air comes in the standard iPad packaging that we've seen over the years with a 1:1 scale picture of the iPad on the front and lettering on the side. They used to include the side profile of the iPads, for those of you who remember, but Apple has stopped doing that since. Now this is the 256GB version of the iPad. I was actually looking for the 128GB, but it looks like they're sold out everywhere, and it looks like it's because of students and back to school purchases. Now this is the space gray version. I really like my neutral colors, but there are 4 other colors to choose from. Now inside the box you get the iPad itself, and underneath you get a package of leaflets as well as some critical components for your iPad. Now the first one being is a 20-watt Apple charging block, and it's a standard charging block that you get with iPads and iPhones alike. Also, you get a braided USB-C cable, and I really appreciate the braided because it is a little more flexible but also a little more durable than the standard plastic ones that you used to get with the older iPhones and iPads. Also very appreciative that it is no more lightning and it's USB-C. Now the leaflets are also quite handy, showing off the basic functions of the iPad, but realistically no one uses these or reads these. Now taking the sleeve off the iPad, and my first impressions were that this is a very sleek tablet, and the space gray is identical to the space gray found on the MacBooks. The iPad comes equipped with an 11-inch screen that's marketed, but it's actually technically a 10.86 because the bezels are rounded, and it does come with an anti-reflective coating on top, so it does help with the glare and direct sunlight a little bit. It has a single USB-C port on the bottom, as well as a 4-array speaker setup that is located both the bottom and the top. Now the side of the iPad has a magnetic connector that is used to both connect and charge the Apple Pencil, and on the rear you have the standard 3-dot connector that is used to connect Apple certified accessories, mainly being their cases and keyboards. And of course, you do get a single 12-megapixel wide-angle camera on the rear without a significant camera bump out. This is able to record at 4K and take some pretty high-resolution pictures. We'll take a look at that later in the video. And of course, my favorite feature is the Touch ID power button located on the top, which is used to both lock and unlock your device with just your fingertips. Now let's power this thing on and get it set up. One of the very first things I like to do with any iPad or iPhone is change the basic wallpaper that comes preloaded. Now, Apple does provide a solid background and an array of wallpapers to use. I like to use scenery, and I also like to add the widgets that I prefer to have on my iPad. Now, usually if you do set up your iPad through your iPhone, your widgets will transfer over. Now just to see the power of the M2, I downloaded a standard 3D game off the App Store, and this was running flawlessly without any hesitation whatsoever, and that's what I expected from the M2. However, I did notice that the rear of the iPad did get a little warm, and I feel like this is going to be a concern when I do my full video review because there is only passive cooling and no fan located in the iPad. Now, using the iPad is the same as ever, and that's actually a good thing. So those of you who have had iPads in the past are going to be very familiar with the layout and how to open and use the apps. Even with the new iPad OS coming out, there are not a lot of drastic changes, and I really appreciate Apple sticking to the basic roots. Everything is fluid and everything is functional, especially the Apple-based apps. Now, testing at the camera for the first time, I do like to go into the settings to make sure that some of the formats are changed. I like to change everything to a format that is most compatible, and I do like to change the video to 4K. Now, I took a picture of this plant that's been sitting on my desk, and I have to say, even in low light, I have no lighting in this office other than the standard window, and the picture quality is actually pretty good. I was actually surprised at how crisp the quality came out of this 12 megapixel camera sensor. One of my other new favorite features is that the camera is now located on the landscape view, so you do get a super wide angle, especially when you use the mirror camera. And the mirror camera quality is also very, very good with very, very low grain, even in low light conditions. And one of the first things I like to do with any iPad is put it in a case. I actually bought this case off of Amazon. I'll put a link in the description, but it was only $12. The last thing you want is to get this scratched up. And lastly, we'll unbox the Apple Pencil Pro. Now, as I mentioned earlier in the video, the Apple Pencil Pro is only compatible with the new iPad Air M2 and the iPad Pro M4. So if you have an older iPad, this will not be compatible, unfortunately. The packaging itself is very basic with a set of leaflets inside and the Apple Pencil Pro itself. The pencil comes with a ridge, and unlike the first generation Apple Pencil that was completely cylindrical, this feels a lot more comfortable to grip and holds very well in the hands. Now, the best part about the pencil is that connecting it to the iPad is super easy. All you need to do is stick it to the side and it will magnetically connect and pair with your iPad within seconds. Once you do that, you'll be prompted with this screen and you'll go through a brief tutorial on how to use the new features. And that is it, guys. I hope you liked this unboxing. If you did, make sure to like the video and subscribe to my channel, as the full video review of the iPad Air M2 will be coming out. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.